and us finishing bronze. Now LeBron James comes out and says, "Hey, in 2024 in Paris, we're gonna be ready. We're gonna be locked and
I
loaded."
love that.
That means LeBron,
Tatum,
AD, Steph Curry, KD.
KG,
Yeah,
Tatum. So say they put that team together, where are they going to rank with the dream team? The original dream team.
the original Dream Team will always checkmate all these other teams because I mean you have the greatest player. I'm not saying these guys aren't great, but
There were
ain't
no
nothing like
weak
that
links.
original group.
Showtime with Coop is powered by FanDuel, the exclusive wagering partner of the CLNS Media Network.
Welcome to a new edition of Showtime with Coop. Insightful BS with my Laker teammates and NBA legends around this league. Powered by FanDuel. Don't forget that. Nick, it's been a while since we've been on, but here we are again. Some things have happened. I got a new job, so I'm
Uh,
assistant coach at Cal State LA now.
oh,
So
wow. Yeah,
that
congrats,
keeps me
Coop.
pretty
That's
busy.
huge. That's
I
a
think
big
I've
deal.
I've covered all gauntlets of
I
coaching.
know you have. I was just going to say
High
that.
school, I've coached women. I've coached in the D League, which is G League at the time.
Championship,
I've
right?
coached in the NBA.
And the
What haven't I
WNBA.
done?
The
Coached on,
W.
the
You haven't done
WNBA,
Olympic.
Olympic coach. Yeah, that'll probably never happen, but that's a whole nother story.
Never
But
know, Coop.
what?
You never know.
Yeah, you never know.
Never
Going
know.
full circle. But here I am at a D2 school, Cal State LA, a school that's close to my heart. In the summertime back in the 80s, I used to go out there in the 70s. We go out there and we'll play. The great Raymond Lewis went to school there, among many, many others. But so that has been the interruption that we've had. But now that I got my schedule set, we back up and rolling. So you're going to get some
Yeah.
more new additions. We got some surprises coming up, Nick, and we've already talked about that, but we're going to leave that out there for a moment. But let's go to start the show. Let's talk about our fledgling USA team. Now, I say fledgling in the sense of because you know what? Americans now think that we can put anybody together
Yeah.
and we can go overseas and play against these national teams in Europe and do what we used to do back in the 70s and the 80s. We used to do with our college kids. And
Yep.
now with the Dream Team One, they really set everybody straight. But you still have to have those marquee players. So our USA team did not do well. They finished sixth, I believe.
Yep.
And they but in basketball. And
Yep.
USA is supposed to be the cream of the crop in basketball. We're not supposed to finish lower than gold.
Right.
And gold is always our thing. And again, but you know what? You got some. I think they lost to Germany.
Yep.
Was it Lithuania?
Lithuania. Yeah, I mean, but here's the
Yeah.
thing, Coop, is like, since the Dream Team won, it's almost as if the world has caught up to the United States in their talent pool. I think they have better fundamentals almost.
Well,
Would you agree?
that's always been the case. European players have always been very fundamental. Going back to Vlade Divac, here he
You're
is,
right.
6'11", guy playing like a guard, and that's the one thing. 'Cause I played overseas one year in Rome, Italy, and you see the development of those kids. It doesn't matter how tall you are, what age you are going to learn how to dribble the basketball. You're going to learn how to drop step. You're going to learn how to forward pivot. You're going to do all the fundamentals of the game to make you that complete player. So when you get tall, then doesn't matter whether you're 7'1" or 6'1", you're going to know how to play the game of basketball. And that's why the influx of NBA players, I mean, European players coming to the NBA do so well. No, it's not about, if you got it, jump over the rim and slam dunk, but the game is played below the rim. So you
Yep.
have to do all those fundamental aspects of the game. And now you put our so-called, I'm going to call them
The,
second
the
tier, maybe third tier players
These are
to
third
go
tier.
over
I mean,
there.
Coop, you got Halliburton, Bridges, Johnson, your boy Brandon Ingram,
And what's the boy?
Banchero,
What's the young man from Minnesota?
Anthony Edwards.
Oh man, I love him,
I
man.
love
And
him too.
yeah,
Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, Jamar Jackson, Walker Kessler, Austin Reeves, and then Bobby Portis Jr.
them guys are good players, but they're young players, and they are. A lot of them are still learning how to play this game. And now it shows you, Anthony Edwards, one of the most athletic,
Athletic. Yep.
talented players in our game today. a young player that's going to be a superstar eventually when his career is over with, a Hall of Fame player. I really believe so.
I think so.
But you cannot just assemble those guys and have them go over there and try to mesh as a team. Because, again, you got to remember, people are playing in different systems over here. Minnesota is different from the Lakers as opposed to the Milwaukee Bucks. So when you go and play these European teams who have been playing together, club ball, all that, and they know how to play the game as a team. And I think that's what we're missing. And, kudos to Steve Kerr trying to put this thing together, him and Ty Lue and the rest of his staff. But it's very, very difficult to get 2 weeks, a team together in 2 weeks, and then go over there and be competitive. But again, they finished bronze. I mean, not, at least they medaled, so that's a good thing. But NBA basketball is about gold or higher.
I mean, especially since there was, I can't remember I think it was a lacrosse or rugby player. I can't remember who, but did you hear that he was calling out NBA players? He had won a gold medal and said, because the NBA says they are world champions, and they are not world champions. They are champions of America, which isn't necessarily true because they're the best players in the world. But then when you get on this stage, you expect to perform. And I think America, we're kind of spoiled. We don't realize that a lot of our NBA talent are on the other side when we play international.
For sure.
I mean,
Nick, you know what? We're going to circle back to this one because I really do want to get more involved. And I mean, like I said, I watched 1 or 2 games, but it was only like the first half of a game. Yeah. And I want to dig a little deeper because with that being said, and us finishing bronze, now LeBron James comes out and says, hey, in 2024 in Paris, we're going to be ready. We're going to be locked and loaded.
I love that.
That means LeBron,
Tatum,
AD, Steph Curry, KD,
Tatum up is in, yeah. I mean, that's what we want to see, man. So say they put that team together, where are they going to rank with the dream team? The original dream team.
The original dream team will always checkmate all these other teams because, I mean, you had the greatest player. I'm not saying these guys aren't great, but
there were no weak links.
Original group.
Think about the guys that we had to cut in '92. Like, there was no Isaiah. There was no Dominique. I mean, that's how good this team was, right? The Dream Team won. Yeah. I mean, you weren't there, Coop.
Worthy.
No Worthy.
Like
yeah.
That. So, yeah. I mean, but, when you go play international basketball, it's not about the dominant position. It's about moving and cutting and anything like that. And that's why you didn't see Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. You didn't see some of the other dominant figures were here because the game is different when you go over there and you're playing against people that are cutting and moving. And you got the Joker in Denver. When he goes back to his home country, you got people moving around like that. So, but yeah, we're going to circle back to this one, Nick. But again, it was kind of you know what? I wouldn't even call it a disappointing effort. I just think that they weren't prepared.
They were outmatched.
So no blame to anyone.
Yeah.
No blame to Steve Kerr or his staff. But I don't think the players were really ready to play against what they thought was going to be our style of play. And again, they do, but they just do it differently.
And Coop, maybe I'm being arrogant, you tell me, but I would think regardless of the talent level, international players, if they beat the NBA players on the USA team, that makes their year, I would think. I mean, everybody has to be out to get the US, right? I mean, it's the NBA players. You're being
fucking arrogant now, Nick. You're being arrogant.
Am I? I don't know. I'm asking the question. Because we as Americans do not expect a bronze. We want a gold, so we put these guys, you hear NBA players are playing, but you don't realize the Joker's on another team, Giannis, and all these guys. I mean, Porzingis would have been if not injured. Doncic would have been on. He was on opposing. So, I think that we are arrogant to a degree, but I would think those players want to beat the NBA players. I mean, in 2024 they will when it's LeBron, Tatum, KD, and all those guys.
But also that fear factor. That's what the Dream Team 1 had. They had them teams are literally scared to play against. So
Coop,
hopefully they bring that aspect.
No timeouts throughout the entire Olympics, Dream Team 1. Chuck Daly never called a timeout through the entire Olympics.
Nick, if you were fucking coach of that team, would you call a timeout?
No, but I mean, I just think, but that was a conscious effort there. Because, you call timeout sometimes just to reset. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just was like, no timeouts.
Listen, I ain't calling no timeouts. I got my foot on the pedal to the metal, and I'm jamming it right up in you, man. So again, I expect the same thing with this 2024 in Paris. Man, they better bring it. And if they don't win by 40 points every game, then I think something is wrong. Now, granted, the real dream team, they were winning by 50, 55, 60 points. So again, I think the European basketball has caught up a little bit. But yeah, 40 points, if you gotta win by 40. Now there's gonna be one of those games where it's gonna be tough. Things don't go right all the time, and you might win by
15.
What?
15.
I was gonna say 10, Nick.
I just don't see it. I mean, well, we don't, again, I don't want to do what I just did just now, but you knew looking at this roster, it was the bottom of the bench from when you're talking about star tiers in the NBA.
Star power.
Yeah. I mean, these are great players, but they aren't the NBA, Speaking of Coop, how about the new rule, man? I thought of you immediately because we talk a lot about load management, right?
Get ready for the NFL season with incredible offers from FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets. Guaranteed. That's guaranteed. Plus, all customers who bet $5 will get $100 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Now is the best time to join FanDuel. It absolutely is. The app is easy to use, and you can be on everything from spreads to player props and more. So visit FanDuel.com/Boston. Kick off the NFL season with an offer you won't want to miss. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL.
New rule.
Load management.
Your load management. Well, it isn't a rule yet, but according to Shams, from the Athletic and Stadium and whatnot, FanDuel, the NBA is going to make it whereas 2-star players cannot rest load management in the same game. No star players can load management on nationally televised games. My first question was, how do you quantify a star? I think it's fair. You have to be an all-star appearance, one in the last 3 years. That makes you a star. So you think about that, though, like Defensive Player of the Year, Marcus Smart would not be a star, right? So he could load manage. I have a better solution, Coop. You're the one who gave me the idea, and now I've gone and done some analysis, and I'm going to pull out my bookkeeping software here, Coop, on load management, right?
Who came up with that word, load management?
It appeared out of nowhere about Kyrie like 5 years ago.
I guarantee you that was Popovich. Pop probably
I'm
did
sure
that.
It was. Everybody's going, what the fuck is load management? Hang on, I got to find this for you. Because this one is, okay, here we go. We're going to talk about Ben Simmons, Zion, Kawhi, and Paul George. Let's just go with Ben Simmons. If Ben Simmons was not allowed to accept his salary for the games that he didn't play, so just those games, say he had to donate it to homelessness in Brooklyn, let's just say.
No, say he don't just get it. You don't play, you don't get paid. Go ahead.
I like the donation. It would be $18,439,000 that he would have given away for sitting on the couch all year. Zion, $7,037,000. Kawhi, $16,121,000. PG, $14,776,000. If I'm adding this up right, Coop, that's $38,048,000. That's almost $60 million that could go towards retired players, could go towards charity, could go towards NBA Cares, or you know what? Just give it to San Francisco and help those people get off the street. Why are we paying people to sit at home? I don't understand it. Now, I know I sound like an angry white guy, so I need you to level me out here.
No, sound like an angry white guy.
I'm not an angry white guy, though.
Getting paid. That's what you
No, I mean, it could be a white guy there. I don't give a fuck. All I'm saying is I go to work, I get paid. I don't go, I don't get paid.
I'm with you, Nick. I'm for that. And I think, again, in this game has been, I think after the late 90s, I think because of the physicality of the game, when we played in the 80s and in the 90s, and with the commissioners trying to curb the violence, players getting hurt, I think it softened them a little bit. This is just my opinion. Okay,
And
this is
not
what
just
I thought I
yours. A
saw.
lot of people say this, Coop. A lot of
And
ex-players.
I think with the softening of players, then it extends. And then again, I love Greg Popovich, great coach, great person, a great innovator of this game. He's had some of the best NBA championship teams, and Duncan and the players that he had back there. I think he was thinking of a way, okay, how can I save my players from 82 games? I got to get them some rest. Well, you know what? For me, you give them rest in practice.
Mm-hmm.
For me, you give them rest before the game. But
Mm-hmm.
during the game, and it doesn't matter how significant a game is, people pay to see these guys come out and play.
Big
And
money.
for you to take that from them, and if I'm just a layman person, which I am now, I'm paying, my kids are loving Tim Duncan, Ginobili, players like that, and I'm
Parker.
paying almost $200 for food and all that to go to the game, and then I get there and find
More
out.
than that, Coop. When was the last time you paid for basketball tickets? You're getting all those freebies at the Staples Center, dude. That's way more than that now. Are you kidding me?
You're right, Nick. I don't pay for tickets.
I know.
If you don't give me a ticket, I'm at home watching the game on TV. But Nick, listen, even at home, and I'm watching the game, and they say this guy he needs rest. What? Are you
Yeah.
crazy? I get up every morning and go to work. I need rest.
Right.
So again, I like the fact that I'm with you on that. Donate the money. Okay. I think a great cause would be, give it to the retired players and kick back to some of the players that aren't doing so well now. Give it to the homeless. Give it to, send it to a crisis,
Ukraine,
the
whatever you got to
Maui.
do.
You
Maui,
have a bunch
Maui.
of stuff that you can do, but you know what? And I think that'll sharpen these guys up.
Oh, dude,
Because
you know
again,
what? Coop.
when we played, Nick, and I'm sorry to cut you
No,
off,
no,
when
go,
we
go.
played, we didn't want to sit down. I didn't
Right.
want to rest. I wanted to get out there and play. If I was hurt, okay, let me at least try. Let me see how it feels today, okay? These guys will get a little tweak. Oh, it's hurting. I'm not normal. I can't go out there and play, But again,
Coop, what's interesting, what's crazy is like Paul George, who's, I mean, the face of this rule has been Kawhi and PG, right? Because of the two stars that never play together, right? So, but he went on a media campaign last year saying the teams are forcing them not to play, and I think in some instances that's true. But this rule is being put in not by the commissioner, the soft commissioner, it's by the board of governors. So why would the teams want this rule if they're the ones that are forcing the Paul George and players to sit? I don't buy that. I think it's a combination of the both, right? I mean, and you know what, Coop, it's the same thing. I don't want to sound like an angry old man, but like everybody cries to go back to work. Like, stop with the remote work bullshit. Just go to work. Like, this is how it was, and it's somewhat because I think their heroes are doing the same thing. And this is an NBA thing. This isn't an NFL or an MLB or an NHL team thing, So hopefully it curbs it a little bit if they actually go through with it. But Coop, $18,439,000 Simmons. That's just on the games he sat last year, 42 games. His salary last year was $38,800,000. Coop, like, did the Lakers even gross that in 1983? The whole team?
Nick, this guy made more money sitting than I did when I played.
More money than I will ever make. And I'm not a jealous person. There's a point where it becomes excessive. And the other thing is, well, you know what? Then if the teams are making too much money, then lower the fucking prices of the tickets and the vendor shit.
You know what, Nick? I'll never knock a player because
You've been
I've stood in many of those guys' shoes, their tennis shoes, but again, we don't know. And I say, if you're legitimately hurt or you're not feeling right there, I mean, sit. But again, you make a great point. Who is asking these guys? I think sometimes it's the coach. Hey, how you feeling today? Because as a coach, I ask my players, how you feeling? Okay, you're not. Hey, listen, you know what? This is not that it's significant of a game, although every NBA game is significant if you want to win a championship. But okay, we're up in our standings, or we're up by 20 games. We're guys, okay, this game here isn't significant. But what I don't think they think about, and they have to, because this is how this money is being generated, you've got to think about the fans, and you have to think about them coming to the arena. What if they did this, Nick? What if the fans could get a little list? And I'm just saying this is hypothetical. If they could say, okay, Tatum's not going to play tonight, LeBron's not going to play tonight. Okay, you know what? I want my season tickets because I buy season tickets. I'm sitting down low and I'm paying close to $25,000 for the whole year. Okay, you guys have to give me my money back for the game he's not playing.
The problem with that, Coop, is that the coaches covet the lineup so much. Like, you usually don't see the injury report until 3 hours
I know, Dick,
before.
but that's the thing. They gotta uncover. They gotta make it, because and if they were to do that, and again, we're speaking hypothetically, having fun here. This is anything
Yeah.
serious. Is that I think arenas on them particular nights wouldn't be full. I really don't think.
No question, dude. I mean,
So,
I remember as a kid, I saw the Celtics. I saw the Lakers once too. I saw the Celtics maybe 10 times when I was a kid. And I would say 4 of those times Larry Bird had the back injury. I mean, I flew to Boston. Like, this was a big deal. The whole family went every year at Christmas time. And he was really injured. And I think there's a fine line between playing injured, which isn't, I think, like, Bird did that too much. That's why he couldn't end his career, right? And also, just not showing up. But I remember how that felt. And the dude was in a back brace. Like, he couldn't play. So now, if that's me and I get to come to Boston once a year, and I'm going to fly up here and all the stars aren't going to play, man, that's devastating. Luckily in Boston, we have, and I think you do in LA minus AD, but we have players that don't want to sit. The Celtics don't want to sit. Jalen doesn't want to sit. Jason doesn't want to sit. They fight to keep playing. So that's a plus for Boston. But hey, man, I mean, it is what it is. I just look at that 18 million. I mean, I don't understand how anyone of good conscience that's so much money. You could do so much good for people in the world, and
but
I don't want
to. The funny part about it is they're getting it whether they're playing or sitting
that's
down.
what I
They
mean.
don't care.
They don't
They don't
care.
care.
And that's
So,
just maybe that goes back to how you're raised. Me, I really don't know. I don't know because you know what, Coop, it's not just basketball players. I see it in my business.
yeah,
People don't,
that's all
we're
around.
going, Coop, we're going back to the office, our company, right? You should see it. It's like, I got guys crying because they don't want to go back to the office. Men, because I can't take the remote
Well, they
work
wussies,
anymore.
Nick. Listen, you listening to Showtime with Coop, powered by FanDuel. We over here talking about a whole lot of things, man.
Bullshit.
And we just covered the gauntlet of load management. I don't know why. Whenever I say that word, I do this.
I know, yeah. Because what does it mean?
I'm gonna get to where I can just say load management. But I like the fact that they can put that rule in would be great. I think it has to be. The fans have to be considered. Yep. And I really do. And again, the players make the game, but the fans make the game fantastic. And I think
one more thing on that, Coop. If you look at the statistics over the years, your generation actually had less injuries than this generation. So, like, less injury report. And if you look it up, it's true. So the load management is just putting them in a place where they're not ready to ramp up when it's time to really go hard, and then they get injured. So, so it's bad all the way around, I think. So, yes, it might have been a bit, although I prefer it, too physical in your era. But you guys, the injury, people are legitimately more injured now.
Nick, you said a good thing. It was more physical in our era, and we played.
You played.
It's less physical now, and the guys don't play.
They don't play. So, Coop, that is what it is. I mean, what I'm excited about, and everybody who's listening is, if you're listening to this episode, soon you're going to hear Mr. Michael Cooper talk about winning time, because we're going to go on to that, and we're going to release that later in the week. We're definitely going to. I got to tease it, Coop. I've been trying to get you to talk about that for 2 years now.
Yes, you have, Nick, and I'm finally breaking down because I've always saw some discrepancies in that.
Save it for the episode.
Yeah,
let's do another episode, right? All right, so Coop, let's close this one out and let's get back in the studio. We'll talk winning time.
Nick, great conversation with you, but we're gonna get some players in here. I got a big surprise for you guys. Coming up, I got somebody that I never thought I could get.
Do I know about
Magic Johnson? Although I'm still working on him, though. Magic is touring the world around, which I don't blame him, man. Dodgers, Lakers, y'all leave me alone. Let me go spend some time.
I've been following him. He has been world traveler, Magic.
Magic is doing it like
Yeah,
he did it on the court. But somebody real special, a Laker. So we're going to have fun with that. So listen, you know what? That's the close of this one. Want to thank everybody for always tuning in. FanDuel, keep pumping us up, baby. We need you right there. That's really good. And again, Nick, another edition in the can, in the box,
bucket,
wherever you want to put it, is
in the
down
basket.
now. Okay.
You
Take care.
Showtime with Coop is powered by FanDuel, the exclusive wagering partner of the CLNS Media Network.